Good evening, everybody, and welcome. My name is Rick Eutsler here with the Airgun guys. And Travis, I just got a text. He has had a little bit of emergency. So, Travis, I hope everything goes okay with your dog. Sorry you're not going to be here with us tonight, but hey, you know what? I'm gonna wing it. We've got some cool Airgun stuff we can always talk about. I'm going to focus a little bit today on what we've got going here at the GTA. And forgive, we got a couple noisy things happening around me here. I have some computer work that's processing as we speak. Let me just text Travis real quick here. All right. So anyway, today let's go ahead and jump in. We've got a couple things we can jump on right away. It is August, and we had promised, as the GTA, had promised we were going to have something new, and that we do. It's called the Gateway to Airguns Airgun Repository of Knowledge. We call it the Airgun Arc. And Travis and I have been talking about this. I've been talking about this. This is a place that if you are an Airgunner content creator or someone that wants to publish your stuff in a place, publish directly, not have it harvested from somewhere else or rely on other people to pull it from YouTube or Facebook, but actually you publish your stuff yourself and have a place for it to land, you can do so at the GTA. You do need to become a member. You do need to agree to the rules. But other than that, we want to have a wide open forum where people, hey there, guys. Hey there, Tim. Hey there, Daniel. We want to have a place where people can come and publish their stuff and it have a safe place to live. So definitely go over and check out. It's gatewaytoairguns.org. Check out the Airgun Arc. And hey there, Jeff. We're going to be working on myself personally. I'm going to be looking to put all of my current material and past material as I have time up there, just so that we have that repository of knowledge for new airgunners, old airgunners, whoever wants to come up and see it. So as always, this show is, things that go bang. We'll see. We may have to do a whole nother channel for that, Joshua. Okay, so as always, this channel is, hey there, Mitchell, glad to have you up here. As always, this show is about talking air guns and also answering y'all's questions. So we generally get a bunch of people here throwing questions up. To me, it's today it's going to be just me. As I said, Travis has got a little bit of an emergency with his puppy, so hope everything works out okay there. So we got Rick saying hi. We've got Mark saying hi. Okay, so Mark's asking about the 20 gauge shotgun. Let's get into that. So that's near and dear to my heart. Full disclaimer, the SWA shotgun is a project that I've been working with Terry Tate on for a while. Terry is the creator of PBBA. If you guys don't know anything about that, I did some work for Terry years ago, helping to promote the PBBA shotgun. And that was a break action 20 gauge, uses a little shell, which is very cool. Load them up, put them in your pocket. Break action, drop the shell in and shoot out. You shoot shot, slugs, you shoot arrows out of it if you want. It was a great air gun. The thing that really made that particular gun special, was we could put a barrel insert in it. So you would have like a 45 or 35 a cal barrel that would slide down, and it was the same. Diameters were such that when it slid all the way down, it sort of got tight into that 20 gauge smoothbore. So it worked very, very cool. Anyway, so Terry and I were talking about what sort of to do next, and the PBBA is still a product, still making it. People really like that break action, which is very cool. So we have gone to something which was the SWA, in that it doesn't have a break action. We dropped the ability to do an insert barrel, and there was good reason for that. The big reason I decided to not do something that would have a drop-in insert barrel was that the barrels were very, very expensive. And if you're spending another $300, let's say, for a barrel, you want it to be accurate. And because it wasn't super tight all the time, there was some accuracy inconsistencies. So you may get one that's really a laser beam, and you may get one that isn't as good. So rather than have that variation from one gun to the next, We just went with a 20 gauge smoothbore. Now, the way we get the accuracy, we take and put a rifle choke in at the end. Well, you guys can't see what I'm doing. Put a rifle choke in, and that has like the last 2 and a bit inches, a little bit of rifling. So when the slug fires, and we're using the DGS slugs, when it fires, it gets a little bit of spin at the end, and that gives it its stability. And it does very, very well. I mean, at 50 yards, like say with the 27L, the long gun, you can get 3 shots pretty much touching at 50 yards, and you're pushing between 450 and 475 foot-pounds. Depending on how the gun's set up, you can get up to 500, even more. So it is, you may lose a couple shots if you open it wide up like that. But, you know, you're going to get 2 to 3 really good shots with a 4th in reserve as we ship them. And you're going to have that accuracy with the slug. So the SWAs come in, right now they come in 3 variations. So you have an 8-inch pistol, which is just smoothbore, and that's great for really up close stuff. There's a video on Facebook of me popping a rattlesnake that I got in my daughter's chicken coop. Perfect opportunity to pull the SWA out and send the rattlesnake on to its next life. And then we have the 15T, which is a 15-inch barrel. It's got a 12-inch cylinder, and you get about 3 shots with that max, and 3 good shots. And it's got a collapsible stock. We have 2 versions, one with a collapsible stock and one with just a pistol grip. And that is also just a great utility gun. It is threaded as far as for choke, so you can add all of our chokes. It comes with a cylinder, an improved cylinder choke if you get the pistol grip one. If you get the rifle stock one, you get the rifle stock, you get the rifle choke, the cylinder choke, and so you get a little bit extra. Daniel, yes, it is a little bit like the FX Smooth Twist, but we would never say that because FX would not like it. But it's the same concept. But this has been done with shotguns for years, so it's you know, no infringement there. Okay, so the last gun we have is the 27L. It has a little bit nicer AR stock on it, 27-inch barrel, 18-inch tube. Some news for those that were asking, I am working with our manufacturer to bring out a couple things here shortly. One will be a 3-shot magazine for those that want to buy that as an accessory, which is perfect for the long gun. If you get into the 27L, the 3-shot magazine is great. And then you've got a 20-inch barrel. So why would you want a 20-inch barrel? Well, let's say you get the 27L and you'd like to have something a little bit shorter, more like the carbine, but you want a little more power. You get the 18-inch tube and you can put a 20-inch barrel on it. Now you have something that works really cool. If you have the 15-inch and you want to just get a little extra power, you put the 20-inch barrel on it and you're going to get over 400 foot-pounds. So that little bit of space at the end does make a big difference in getting the power out. So we're going to have some variations coming out. Angel, if you want to find me on Facebook, it's Airgun Reviews. Let me see if I can grab the link for you there, boss. Let's see here. Here it is. Okay. There you go. So if you look at that, I've got several channels on Facebook. They all sort of go together. Airgun Web, the Airgun Reviews is where I put my reviews. Airgun Web TV is where we would publish like this kind of a video, a live video, and so forth. So, okay, so that's the SWA line. I hope that kind of gives you guys some information. I'm going to be doing a series of videos on each gun. And Angie did, you guys mentioned that Angie's got her 27 long and she's excited with that. That's going to be her hunting gun coming up. So she's going to be taking hog, deer, basically whatever, squirrel, because she can run squirrel, run shot in it and use it for a squirrel gun. So very versatile air gun. And she's going to do patterns with the different chokes. I sent her different shot, different chokes, a whole whack load of slugs. So you're going to get a lot of content. You're going to get a lot of content from Angie on that gun. Joe's also got one. Joe, who works over at Predator Pellets. and he's been waiting for an opportunity to get out and do some night hunting. So I expect we're going to have some stuff there, and I'll be doing the reviews, and I'm looking to set up to do a coyote hunt. So I think you're going to see a lot of the SWA gun coverage very, very soon. Anybody that wants to get a hold of me, it's super easy. I'll put in my email address. There you go. You want to reach me, just it's editor@airgunweb.com or through Facebook or any of these other ways. I'm not a hard guy to find. You can Google my name and I will pop up, and multiple contact options. So anybody that wants to chat, talk about stuff, I'm here to kind of help. All right. So we have any questions, you guys, tonight? Just throw them out there. This is normally where Travis and I banter back and forth and talk about guns that he's working on that he can't talk about lest he kill us, but he's not here. So I kind of need y'all's help tonight on some topics. Of course, I can talk air guns easily enough. In fact, I had some interesting articles. I'm not going to spoil all of them because they're not published yet, but I wrote all the articles last month that will be coming out soon here on Airgun Depot. And I wanted to know what you guys thought of, say, like the U.S. winning gold in 10 meter. And if you guys have ever looked into what it takes to actually compete at that level, it's pretty impressive. But look for that article coming out. That'll be fun. Hey, Rick, do you do any mod to Daisy Red Ryder BB gun or any air gun? I don't modify the Red Ryder. The only guns I may modify, and when I talk modifications, the only thing I'll do is drop in different parts. I don't get into machining different parts. I don't get into physically modifying factory parts. But say like the JSAR valve, we'll drop those in the Marauder, or we'll do a JSAR tube. Most of the stuff we do will be on the Marauder modifications, and it'll be just parts swapping. So that's what I do. I used to do a lot of tuning of brake barrels, and can still do that, but I haven't done it in a long time. So, and it takes a lot of time, and I have to bill for that time. So it's not necessarily cost effective for me to do it, but I certainly can if somebody's absolutely wanting it done. Gosh, there was something else that I was going to mention that came to mind that I thought was pretty cool, though. Anyway, we'll see if we get more questions, and then maybe it'll come back. Oh, I remember. So we've got some very cool. All right, so I've got a series coming out, and this may be what this this last question was about. Oh, Hemi, that's a great question. I'm going to jump to your question right now, and I'll get to my other thing here in a minute. All right, real quick, I'll get to your Hemi. I'll get to your question in just a second. I have a series coming out on the Avenger and the Gauntlet 2. I have both of them. I had both of them in 25 caliber, and I did a side-by-side with these guns. The first video is going to talk about the physical and functional differences, performance in the sense of shot count, consistency, all that kind of stuff. And then the second one is going to be about how they did at the bench. It's 50, 75, and 100 yards. So stay tuned. The first video will be coming out next Monday. So that's going to be very cool. So Hemi's got, first of all, Kansas on FX. Would love to do FX reviews. I've talked with John. It's really tight on inventory, and I have a full plate. So if some point I'm able to do some work for FX, that would be great. I do have some slugs from them, and I do have their new chronograph, which I'm going to be doing a video on soon. So maybe that'll get going, and that'll start something with me working more with FX. All right, so Hemi, your question, very good question. Are all CO2 cartridges created the same? Well, I have no hard evidence other than anecdotal. I'll share with you my experiences. I have found that the Umarex CO2 seems to me to puncture more consistently than, say, the Crossman CO2. They have a different shaped neck, and I think they're the exact same size. I haven't mic'd the two different cartridges, but I personally like the Umarex cartridges. I buy them when I can. I just buy a box of 500, and I just have them. And so That's what I do. I do think there is a difference, maybe not in the performance of the gun, but in the puncturing of the cartridge and how they seal. I think there is a small difference. Again, anecdotal on my part. I can't give you any like real hard evidence that that's the case. It's just my personal preference. So I don't know if that answers your question, but excuse me, that is that's my take on it. Let's see. Joshua, I do not know the twist rate of the barrels. It's not something I get into ever. People ask me that all the time, and maybe I should know it. Maybe I should care. I just don't. That's a Travis thing. I'll let Travis be the engineer. I'm just going to be the guy that shoots it. I don't need to know why it shoots. I just can tell you which one works and which one doesn't. So the Zeus is brand new. Tim, have not touched it. I know that it's out there. Obviously, I'd like to see it. I'll go back to my conversations plural I've had with AEA. Would love to do work with them, but they wanted me to pay for the guns and then do all the work, and I just I'm not going to do it. If they want to send me a gun, then I'll take a look at it. If they want me to send me a gun, me do the work, and then pay for the gun, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do that for anybody. So I don't have time. I have a stockpile of projects from paying sponsors and supporters that I have not gotten to yet. So I'm not going to slide in something like that. I mean, it's going to be a popular gun. Obviously, I'd love to look at it just for the sake of letting you guys know. And I'm pretty sure I will have that opportunity at some point. It just may not be directly through an AEA type connection, but we'll see. Let's see. Let's see. When do you think the G2 will be available? September. I thought it was going to be end of last month, but it looks like maybe September. And if I'm wrong, JB will smack me. So, but I think it's going to be still a little bit of time before the G2 is available. Not going to give you guys any spoilers on which gun outshot the other. You're going to have to wait to see. But I will tell you, the guns both performed very well. And I think it's going to come down to aesthetics and features more than accuracy. I'll just leave it at that. Let's see. So you're shooting hots on Vectus. Yeah, the Vectus I had was not accurate. So mine had bad, I think it had bad or magazines that just squished the skirts really badly. And so I had a lot of problems accurate. If I single fed it, it worked great, but with the magazine didn't work well. Daniel, on the Avenger, look, it's a wonderful gun. I don't know what you're shooting for, if you're going for targets or hunting, but the Avenger is an absolute, I kind of say it's a no-brainer, because if you get the Woodstock version, it's $430. You have adjustable reg, adjustable hammer, all externally. It's super fun to shoot. It's got nice side lever. Yeah, I don't know that you can go wrong with the Avenger. Even if you got that and then got something else later, you haven't gone backwards, dude. So the Avenger is an easy yes. Same thing as far as I'm concerned, so is the Gauntlet and Gauntlet 2. The Origin, again, all of these guns are super easy yes guns for me, because they all just shoot very, very well. At 50 yards, you're really going to be hard-pressed to see the difference between any of them. And that's great. I mean, these guns are under $500, some way under $500, and they are crushing it. So absolutely a yes for any of them. Let's see. The Donnie FL, I have some. I've got to actually try that on my Avenger. That's going to be one of my next videos, working with the Avengers, probably for Airgun Pro Shop, because we're selling them there. So I look forward to throwing that on there and trying some different moderators out. Yeah, hit up Travis or email him. Next week, it'll be just me again, because I'll have Airgun Web TV, and I'll probably hopefully be down at the range. And if I'm handling guns, we know YouTube can't handle that. So I'll probably be back on Facebook. And you guys, I don't know if you guys follow me on Twitter and Facebook and stuff, but I'll be bouncing back between YouTube and Facebook for these videos. So if you need to know when or where, if you subscribe to my stuff, then you'll know. And I'll put it, I've been horrible. Forgive me. I've been horrible at alerting ahead of time. I'll fix that. I'll get with my sister who does all my social media stuff. Cheryl, you're going to have another job. Yay. And I will get her to start posting that stuff. So Carlos is saying he recently got, Daniel, you're going to be hunting. Hey there, Angie. if you're going to hunt with 22, if you're just hunting small game, the Avenger's great. If you're going to go to medium game, it's Avenger 22. If you're going to go to medium game or predators, I would seriously say look at the 25. I think you'll appreciate the additional power. You'll be happy you have it, and it'll give you more range. Just my experience. But the Avenger 22 is, it's an awesome gun. I don't know how you can go wrong with that at the price. Okay. So let's see. Any other things here? Angie is not here live. She should be. I know. She should have been up here. So Angie, I'm going to harass you the whole rest of the show because you weren't here to make up the space for Travis. Okay. So let's see. What else can we talk about? We've talked about. Oh, I got something. I got something to talk about. So I have been hard, we'll say, on some of the really affordable compressors. So I've actually been working with a company out of China for some time. I think 25 cal is a sweet spot, by the way. I think that is probably my favorite caliber in the small bore stuff. And the large bore 45 is my favorite. Anyway, let me get back to this. I've been really hard on the super affordable compressors. Primarily because, in my opinion, thanks, Tim. Tell the guys over at Airgunner, I'm always open to. Angie, I'm going to tell people about your story there in just a second. But Tim, with regards to American Airgunner, the Roundtable, I'm always up to go back to those guys. When I started Airgun Web TV, they felt that me doing that was a conflict with the show, and I wasn't invited back since then. So who knows? I think that, gosh, there's got to be enough room for an Airgun Web TV and an Airgunner, considering one's on YouTube and the other's on TV. You'd figure that would be okay. But hey, Rossi, I'm always available if you guys want to do something again. I'm right here. Just give me a call. It's easy. Okay, so let's see. Angie called me the other day, and she was saying that her compressor was running hot. It had been running in the 60s, 65 degrees Celsius, but now it was hitting 80. She said, "What's going on? What's happening with it?" I said, "Do you have any leaks? Anything going on? Is it taking longer to fill?" None of those things were happening, and I got to thinking about what could do it. And I bet you, and I said, Angie, I bet you've got some hard water deposits or something gunging up your radiator. Now, this is not any maintenance I've ever seen anybody suggest, but we live out here in the desert. Funny story. If you guys have ever tried to have filtered water, let's just say, I bought one of those little jugs, and I've never got one to actually make water I care to drink. I'm always having to get the distilled water from town. That's what we use for drinking water here. I wish I had a picture I could show you guys where I live. I'll have to do that next time. Anyway, so the water we have here at the ranch that we use for every day-to-day stuff, not drinking, but everything else. I tried it in one of these filters. It was a zero water filter, and it actually, they give you a hard water, a TDS filter, a total dissolved solid. So I put it in there, and it was like 300. All right, that's cool. And the drinking water turned out, wonderful, except I was only getting like one run through the whole thing because it was, the filter was going bad. And then I realized that over on the far right of the meter, there was a little X10. So our water here isn't 300 parts per million, it's 3,000 parts per million as for total dissolved solids, which is not just high, that's like astronomically high. So I know a little bit about hard water, all of that to get to this. And so what we do in our washing machine and other things when we use the ranch water, we're always cleaning it with vinegar or a vinegar dilution, a diluted vinegar, so that we just maintain it so that it doesn't get gummed up so bad. And that works very well. The vinegar just takes care of it. It's just something we do. So I told Angie, I said, Angie, why don't you go ahead and put some vinegar, do a vinegar rinse of your compressor. And then she just reported that seemed to work. So Angie, I don't know if you can tell me the temperatures, if it went back to normal or if it's still, how it happened. But I was figuring that your radiator had gotten somehow maybe hard water deposits or something. Now you've had that for over a year. So maybe once a year added to the maintenance of your compressors that are water cooled, go ahead and run some vinegar through it just to get it cleaned out. Now I always run distilled water, and some people do, some people don't, but I always run distilled water. But vinegar ain't gonna hurt flushing that system out. It'll make a huge difference. So I'm glad to hear that works. So awesome sauce. Now back to my thing on my being quite hard on the affordable compressors, and I'm talking about like the Young Hangs and Style and whatnot. Anything that you feed with a bucket of water, those compressors, I'm generally very hard on them. And it's not that I'm against the compressors. What I don't want, Big Earl, we'll get to that question here in a minute. It's not that Angie just lost internet. Oh well, she'll let me know. Let me just tell her. Just told folks about your compressor. How did it do? All right, maybe she'll just text me what it was. Let's see. All right, so I've been hard on these personal compressors, mainly because they don't provide adequate filtration on the output side if you're going directly into your gun or if you're filling your bottle. Now, with that said, I want people to be shooting. So if all you can afford is a $350 Young Hang, buy it. Just spend the $20 for the little filter so you have something to provide some measure of protection to your gun or to your bottle, and check it regularly. So Angie's saying that the temperature has dropped back down to the high 50s, low 60s. So flushing that system out got rid of that all the hard water deposits, and now the system is cooling like it should. So here's a little tip. If you have a compressor that's water cooled, these water cooled radiator compressors, flush the system every once in a while with some vinegar, and it'll be back up and running. So that's very cool. Thanks, Angie. I'll let folks know. Yeah, I may pass that tip on to Pyramid Air too. Okay, so I've got a set of compressors from DMC. If you guys go to Amazon, you'll see DMC USA, which is a compressor company out of China. They're also run under Davy Energy and some other names. But I've got everything from a little 12-volt compressor, which I just did a video for David Furr. David, if you're watching tonight or watch this video, I got your videos on these chips, bro. I need to I need to edit it. So hopefully before you get your rifle and your compressor, I'll have the video done. You'll know how to use it. But I got everything from a little 12-volt compressor, which sells for about $300, all the way up to their gas-powered scuba compressors, which are about $2,700, and they have everything in between. I'm going to be doing another video series on just these compressors, starting with the little 12-volt, going to the little Young Hang clone, and then they have a twin piston version. They have one they'll talk about bucket compressors, the ones you use buckets to cool them, and then a little bit bigger version, and then they have an Air Venturi type with 2 radiators that I've got. So we're going to kind of show how all of these work in progression. This is a brand that they all look alike. I mean, they all look very much the same. I just happen to know these folks and have worked with them over the past couple of years and feel pretty confident that their stuff's pretty decent. And I can get parts for them, and I know how to rebuild them. So I'm able actually to service them, and they'll support me servicing them. So I'll go ahead and get to do that. Let's see. So Big Earl asked a question. Let me get back to that here. Frank, I'll get to your question just a second here. Big Earl says, why haven't Benjamin did anything to the 25 cal Marauder, reg, all these other things he's asking for? It's a good question, and only they can answer the why. I can only guess. Crossman is a different company than it was 15 years ago. We just say that it's just a different company. We'll see what they have up their sleeve for 2022. Maybe they've got something that'll blow us all away. That would be really cool. But I haven't seen a lot coming out of them from a lot of innovation here for some time. So we'll see. Maybe that'll change. Let's see. So this guy's asking Angie, now that you're back, what was your ratio on the vinegar rinse and how long did you flush it? I know she flushed it for about 10 minutes. I don't know what ratio she used. You're not going to hurt it if you run it strong, so shouldn't be a problem there. But I would probably go maybe a cup in the reservoir, which is a very high ratio. But as I said, you're not going to hurt it. Okay. Heather Mikes from Canada. Very cool. Our friends up there. What are your thoughts on the Gauntlet 2 and 30? That'd be great. I think if they made a 30 out of the Gauntlet 2, they certainly have a platform with the 4,500 PSI bottle. They can certainly do something with the valve, maybe even create a version that has a larger transfer port and larger valve port and can really get the power up there. We'll see. I don't know. Okay, Frank's also asking, and your opinion on which portable air compressor do you think lasts the longest and would be the most durable? My personal favorite, if you're just filling guns, is going to be the Hill compressor. It's expensive, but it's just really, really nice. I think all of the others, if you treat them well, you do the maintenance, you don't try and do fills that are outside of their abilities. In other words, you don't take the small ones and try and fill bottles. You're probably going to get quite a bit of life out of any of them. They're all probably pretty usable if you work within their guidelines. Now, why I think the Hill will last longer is that it protects itself. If it starts to get too hot, it shuts off, cools down, starts up. It's fully automatic. If you're not paying attention to the heat on your compressor, that's what's going to tear it up. That's what's going to burn it up. And the Hill does that automatically. So that's why my vote is for that, is for durability. But they're all probably pretty decent these days. I don't know of any ones that are just total crap that I wouldn't buy. I mean, any of them, if they're filling your gun and you've got a decent filter on them, you're probably going to be fine. I would say just watch your maintenance cycles and watch your duty cycles. I mean, don't overwork them. These aren't commercial compressors that are continuous duty, so don't try and treat them as such. All right, Northern Cal, very, very cool. That's where Travis is up there, and hopefully his dog's okay. I don't know if they have a 30 cal gauntlet, Frank. I mean, if they do, they haven't told me, which would be odd, but hey, they keep things from me all the time. But it would be a nice thing if they do make one. That would be very cool. Let's see. Okay, so it looks like flushing the systems is an important part of these water cooled. Most of my compressors are all air cooled, so it's not something I thought of until Angie called and told me that she was having issues with hers. So seems like that is something that people already know about, which is cool. Looks like Angie's heading to the range tomorrow to shoot the 20 gauge. Angie, maybe, I don't know, you probably don't have cell service out there, but boy, a live Facebook from you pulling the trigger would be kind of cool. Just an idea. But you'll have to if you don't want to, but it'd be kind of cool. Everybody gets to see you pulling the trigger on that gun for the first time. Maybe you do it over at Phil's place. That'd be fun. Okay. We'll take a sip here, and then if we have any other questions, we'll get back to some questions here. Oh, all right. So Doesn't look like we have many more questions right now, so you're just gonna have to hear me talk some more. I know that's painful. Um, let's see. Um, oh, you do have service out there. Angie does have service out at the hunting club. Well, Angie, it wouldn't be horrible to have a little live coverage of the, your first shoot in the SWA. Of course, just film it and show us later is fine too. But anyway, if you feel like it, that'd be kind of cool to see. Let's see. As far as Airgun Pro Shop goes, we've got pellets, and people are emailing us pretty regularly for pellets. And I know that JSB just had a couple containers come in, so you guys may start seeing that pellet shortage, quote unquote, ease a little bit. So I would expect to start seeing pellet availability get better here pretty soon. So that's going to be good news. Never heard about anyone degassing their gun and blowing air through it. To eliminate moisture. Can that be done? Okay, couple questions here I'll get to. Joshua, if you're in a situation where you're getting a lot of moisture in your gun, what you can learn to do is just learn how to take it apart, clean it. Silicone works good. I don't necessarily use a silicone aerosol spray, but just silicone oil, maybe a silicone on a rag, wipe it through. I will do that. Any guns that are hand pumped tend to get a lot of moisture. And I've seen some nasty corrosion in Marauders and stuff because of that. But if you have moisture or you're concerned about it, I would say learn how to maintain your gun, just like you would a firearm. Take it down, strip it, clean it, put it back together. Don't use any oil other than pure silicone oil in anything that's going to have air in it. You should be fine. Blowing it out, whatever you're doing, shouldn't be a problem. Let's see. Arrow guns, Frank. I mean, you can always regulate anything if you're willing to do it. I don't know that there's a value to regulating the guns, but with an arrow gun, you're not going to be taking a lot of shots. If you're using it for target practice, okay, but if you're using it for hunting, you're going to take one shot and then you're going to go get your game. So you're better off just knowing what is the optimal pressure for the gun and shooting that than trying to put a regulator in it. I think that's unnecessary. I like both of their arrow guns. The little javelin is way fun. Now that's CO2, so it's self-regulated because CO2 in and of itself is a stable pressure medium. That is a very fun gun to shoot. It is really fun. And then the Air Saber is addictively fun. It's got so much power, and it's probably, as far as I'm concerned, one of the most lethal air guns per dollar that you can buy. I have taken game with an arrow out of an arrow gun, and it is vicious to see what they do. They are incredibly impressive. So if you want to hunt, then the Air Saber is awesome. If you like just target shoot in the backyard, I really like the Javelin. Just a lot of fun that is. Let's see. Let's see here. When will the Gauntlet 2 be in stores? We've talked about that. I'm thinking sometime September. Rainstorm 2. You guys want the Rainstorm 2? I can certainly talk to Evan X about that. My personal preference would be as sooner the better. It may be slightly modified now than it has been in the past. They may have a better side lever versus just the standard one they used to have. But it's possible we can get the Rainstorm 2 back. I really like that gun. Really, really do. Okay, let's see. Scott's talking about the Beeman R1. That is a gun I wish I had had a chance to review and then buy. I missed that. I missed that. I really would like to do that gun. I haven't though. Maybe it'll happen one of these days. And the Sheridan is just a really good gun. Period. Okay, Joshua, taking apart the Origin is not going to be feasible. You can't. I would not do it because of the gas ram booster in it. It has a level of complexity that requires an Umarex airgun technician to really get in there. I would not at all recommend messing with that in any capacity. The Origin ships with a hand pump from Umarex. I would use it. Don't worry about it. Just enjoy the gun. If you want to get a little inline filter, just get an extra level of protection. That's certainly not going to hurt anything. The day you can go to a little compressor with a better filter, I'd say go for it. But for now, look, use it, enjoy it. It's a $350 gun. I get you want to keep it for years and years and years, and you probably will be able to do that no problem. But yeah, I wouldn't sweat it. Just use it and shoot it. Don't worry about it. But don't try and take it apart. All right. Let's see. Yeah. Hand pumps are great for utility. They're not great for internals. We've talked about that, and I know we kind of maybe get people a little bit mad at us, me and Travis, about that, because there is no perfect solution other than purely maybe if you refrigerated dry air on the way in, and then, I mean, let's go into the land of ludicrous to try and do it. But I would say, like Daniel's saying, leverage that 3-year warranty, shoot the crap ton out of it, pump it, hand pump it, whatever you're doing, enjoy the gun, don't sweat it. Just go and have fun and shoot it. If it fails within the 3 years, let Umarex take care of it for you. That's their job. That's what the warranty's there for. That's what I would say do. Anyway, let's see. We've got about 15 minutes left. If you guys have any questions, throw them out, and I'll do my best to answer them. I don't have anything specific more right now, guys, and I'm happy to go ahead and end it early. Angie says hand pumping great for exercise. Yeah, no. I'll pass. I'll use my compressor, Angie. Yeah, okay. So Derek, yeah, don't even get me started on that. The whole SIG debacle. That is a just talk about missed potential across the board. Look, anybody can armchair quarterback, right? Anybody can say they woulda, shoulda, coulda, but that is a place that had a real opportunity to do something, and I think missed it. Okay, a couple good questions here. Yeah, that was Smith and Wesson 77. I can't help you there, Scott. But I tell you, the person you can talk to, if you go to pyramidair.com, go to the Airgun blog, excuse me, and look up Tom Gaylord. He writes that blog. If there's anyone that can help you find it, he's the godfather of Airguns. Tom is actually the guy who got me started in Airguns. He may be kicking himself now, saying, God, I wish I never had. But he did, so I credit my start and really getting my foot in the door with so many places to Tom. So definitely check it out. He's going to be the guy to know. Oh, and I'd also check out Gateway to Airguns. Somebody's up there may be able to help you. So you guys got a good question here. Yeah, the SIG, let down with a SIG, we can leave it at that. Booster pumps, they actually fill a great need, especially if you have gear that needs to go to 4,500 PSI. I have an old booster pump. I have it sort of there in reserve. I love the fact that I can have 2 scuba tanks. One I can have reg to like 100 PSI for the drive side, and then another I can have for the high pressure side. And you just flip the little switch, and I can run 2 scuba tanks and fill bottles and fill guns for a very long time. And boy, they help you make use of all that extra volume. They are awesome. So I love booster pumps. I just wish they weren't so expensive. The one I got was from a guy, and I think he was selling it for $600 or $700. That is a bargain if you can find one. Just a really great system. All right, so what's my go-to compressor at the moment? Tim, depends on what I'm doing. If I'm just at the bench filling guns, I have 3 compressors depending on what shop I'm in. If I'm in my little workshop, I have a trail charger that's hooked up because we run solar. It's just hooked to some batteries on the floor, which I don't have enough 110 in that room to run a compressor, so I have that one in there. I will take the JTS and set that out at the bench for shooting when I'm doing a review and I just want to have air right there with me. I also will take the Hill compressor out there and just run along extension cord from my shop, which is on solar. It actually runs really well off an inverter. I have a 3,000 watt heavy duty commercial inverter I run my shop off of, and it'll run the Hill. It'll run most of my 110 stuff. Even the bigger like Air Venturis, it'll run that off my solar setup. But my go-to in the shop for just a quick fill up of something, I use the Daystate. If I have to fill my Cascade system, then I'm going to run the Alkin. I got to get a guy quote on that Alkin. I have several quotes outstanding for those. The Alkin, if you have the money and you want to never have to think about it again, get the Alkin. You can buy it's the cost of 2 Air Venturis, let's say, but you'll buy it once and you'll be done for the life of your air gunning career, pretty much. Let's see. Frank, you're very welcome. I love doing the show. So, I mean, if I didn't love it, I wouldn't be here. it's fun. What size slug? Noah's asking the question. Noah, you just bought a gun from me. Noah, I believe you just bought the last Rex rifle, 50 cal rifle on the shelf. So slugs, dude, I would say on the lighter side, first of all, utility, just buy round ball. Don't spend any money on anything fancy. Just get round ball. They shoot great. They're accurate. How Evanex can take a round ball that's a cast round ball and make that thing shoot so accurately, I don't know, but they do a great job. 50 yards like this all day with a round ball out of that rifle. Just buy round ball. If you want something with more thump, and I haven't added them to the site yet, we have the Hunter Supply 336 grain slugs. Those will push a good bit of power. Those will hit pretty hard. So those are for like hunting hogs or something. That's what you want to run. And then we have the 180s, the 185s, 210s, and there's others. Excuse me. But round ball is going to be your best friend, Noah. Get round ball, you'll be fine. And I'll just tell you, if you're hunting and you kill something with a round ball, and you're hunting and you kill something with a big old fat hollow point, and they're both dead, neither one cares what you shot it with. So just a little tip, a little pro tip. If it kills it, call it done, be happy with it. Let's see. Best entry-level PCP, if you have nothing to start with, that means no hand pump, no way to fill your gun. I'm always going to go back, at least for now. I'm going to go back to the Umrex Origin. It has everything in the box. You just add a scope and you're good to go. So you can buy an affordable scope off of Amazon, eBay, whatever, drop it on that gun, and now you're going to be, shooting those kinds of sub 1 inch groups at 50 yards all day. It is a wonderful platform. It's worth it. If you don't mind spending a little more money, the Avenger's good, Gauntlet's good, a little bit more money from there, and now you're getting into stuff like, maybe Air Arms, Evanex. I've got some Evanex guns that are quite nice. That obviously a little bit more. Let's see. I'm going to get to your question, Vargas, because it's an interesting one that I like to talk about. Frank, if you could voice to Umrex your desires to improve the hammer, the Gauntlet 2 and Javelin, what would be suggestion to them? All right, so easy on the Gauntlet 2 is a side lever versus the bolt. That's easy. Other than that, that gun is legitly awesome. They've improved so much on that from the G1 to the G2. It is awesome. So I love that. Let's see. The hammer, I'm going to shoot some more with the hammer. I have no complaints on the hammer other than where the magazine is. There's a, just like you have a revolver, you never grab a revolver by the side when you shoot it. Never have your hand anywhere near that magazine because air escapes and it will thump you pretty good. maybe fixing that. But the Airguns are fine the way they are. Okay, Vargas asked me how many amp hours is your battery bank. In my shop, I have 4 Ds running in a 24-volt configuration. So that is 400 amp hours, I guess, in 24-volt. So that's what I have at the shop. And I have 15 or 1600 watts of panels that feed those batteries. I could add another couple batteries, and I probably will when I go to swap these out. But I've had it for a couple years now. It works great. And we do it mostly solar around here. Now, this shop where I'm in right now, this office, is tied to the grid. But we just had power was out yesterday for almost 12 hours because we just have really, I mean, it's just us out here in the pipeline. But anyway, we do a lot of solar out here. I love solar stuff. It's so much fun. See you, Daniel. Have a good dinner. That would be a cool thing for them to do, some toolless hammer spring adjustable stuff. We'll see. I mean, reality guys, I've asked this question before. Once you've dialed your gun all the way up to high power, who changes it? I mean, really? I don't. Once I find I like this pellet at this power setting, I never change the doggone thing. So I don't need to go in there and tinker with it every time I go to shoot. So anyway. Wow. Cool. Looks like India opened some stuff for Airguns. That's very, very cool. Yeah, Noah, just when you get it, if you have any questions, Noah, just give me a call. Just reach out to Pro Shop and I'll help you. Yeah, Vargas, I run the big D AGMs. I've switched everything here at the ranch to AGM, either big Ds or the 100 amp hour AGMs. I will switch everything over to the 200 amp hour AGMs. I'm waiting for the next cycle after our refresh that we'll have here the next year or two. We're going to swap everything out every 2 to 3 years with the AGMs. I'll look to go to the lithiums because they're getting much better now. So pretty excited. They're expensive, but their lithiums are coming down and getting far more competitive when you look at how long they last for you. Tim, you gotta tell me how that mold works. So Tim's saying he got a 6.6 mold for the SWA. Ooh. I think you're going to need a 6.1, but let me know how that works. It may work great. I really want to know. When I was shooting round ball out of mine, I have a 6.1 that we got. It's technically a 62 caliber, but let me know how it goes. I'm very curious. Tim, you got to let me know. Lee Hay is asking how much is the JSTAR upgrade to the Benjamin Marauder. It's expensive. If you have us do it, the Pro Shop, it's expensive because it's a lot of labor. It's almost like buying the gun again, just so you know. Yeah, if Vargas, if you want some pictures or something to see what we got here, I'm happy to shoot them over to you. Just email me at editor@airgunweb.com, and it's pretty cool. If you need any help, anybody needs help setting up solar stuff, or heck, figuring out computer stuff, or whatever, I do all that stuff too, and I'm happy to help out wherever. It is a cool setup. I've got my wife has an office which has an air conditioner in it that runs off solar. Now she's got 6 of the big Ds, big D batteries, so it works very cool for her. She's got a really nice setup. Her office is set up nice. Let's see. Raphael. Yeah, you're late, dude, because I'm just wrapping up. So okay. My problem is slugs versus pellets, so I don't want to crack supersonic. You want to stay subsonic with either. You're not going to be able to go supersonic enough that you're not going to be dropping subsonic very quickly after you shoot it anyway. You want to take the heaviest pellet you can, or slug, and get it as close to supersonic as you can within reason without going over. But to go supersonic, unless you're going to double it, like go 1500, 2,000 or 3,000 feet per second, which you can't with air, not just air, then you're not doing yourself any favors trying to push past supersonic speed with either slugs or pellets. Stay under it, you'll be better off. As far as any of the Hotson products, we've actually had this discussion on the show. I'd love to be working with Hotson again. I had a conflict with the owner, and it's unfortunate. I mean, I'll take responsibility for my part of that. I wish it wasn't the way it was. I would love to be carrying their products and supporting their products. And look, they're a company here in the U.S. trying to make a go of it, and I'd love to be part of that equation. But I've done all I can do. I've apologized. I've asked to try and do things with them, and it's all in their court. And I'd love to carry their products in the pro shop. I used to. In fact, the pro shop began as a means for Hotson to sell their refurbished products. It's how it got started. But that changed. So anyway, great question, Raphael. Derek, blowback, look at the Commander. I think Angie has done it. Maybe Angie can help you with that, Derek, because she's done a bunch. But look at Umrex. They have so many great 1911 variants, really nice ones. Raphael, how to get the wife shooting? Find other ladies that shoot. That's the ticket, because my wife will shoot. She actually enjoys it once she does it. She doesn't like a gun that has any recoil. She doesn't like a gun that has any noise. And she doesn't like a gun that's hard to cock. That's one of the reasons I bought the Red Wolf when the Airgun Expo ended, because it has no recoil, no noise, and it's super easy to shoot. It's like, she loves a boringly accurate gun. I don't know how your wife is, but I know that if there are other ladies shooting, she's far more inclined to go shoot. And so I would say find some guys that also have girlfriends or wives that like to shoot and get together. And that's how, if I want to get my wife to come out and shoot, I would make a day of it with my daughter and her and get some other people out. And it's a more sociable thing rather than just us punching paper. But when there's that social aspect, she's far more inclined to get involved. So that's what I would recommend there. Yeah, Marcus, that sounds pretty cool. It's how I started, just a couple little things just to get going. But now I've got some fairly large installs. It's pretty cool. Everett, as far as the 50 cal, I love the Dragon Claw. It's not a great hunting gun. It's a little underpowered. I think the Samyang 909, the 45 cal is better for hunting, but the 50 cal, it's a 50 cal and it's freaking awesome. I love it. I have one. In fact, I was thinking about doing a video on the 50 cal this month for Pyramid Air, because I haven't done anything for that one in a really long time. And it's just such a great platform. So anyway, that's probably what I'm going to probably do this month. Let's see. Yeah, Angie's saying the Commander is the way to go. I really think that's a great gun. Check that gun out. It's a really nice gun. Let's see. Want to find more Beeman Silver Jet pellets. Gosh, Scott, I think you are if I roll back up here, Scott, you certainly look like you are an old school air gunner that likes the vintage stuff. I might have, gosh, in my pile of my stash of test pellets, I might have some. Goodness, the old Silver Jets. That's old. I haven't seen those in a while. Tim, I would like to add Alabama Air Gunner Group. Let me know what that is, Tim. If that's something you're part of and we can help you get doing something with it, let me know. That'd be great. What would you say the quietest? This is going to be the last question. We're out of time. So Frank, you win the last question of the night trophy. What would you say the quietest air rifle is that's still powerful? The only one I could speak of is one that I have myself. So I know I haven't shot the FXs very much. The AEAs, the crickets, all of these, those are out of my, I just haven't shot those. The most powerful and quietest is probably going to be the JSAR Raptor. That gun, super nice. And with the big Donnie FL and 35 cal, super quiet and super ballsy with power. So that's going to be my pick, but I'm sure there's going to be other people out there that that had another opinion on that. That's going to be, I got to stick with that. We're already past time. So we did, yeah, we've got so many more questions. We're going to stop. Yeah, Paul, you're right, man. That the old 1960 Sheridan, my dad had some, and as an idiot kid, I didn't know what I was playing with at the time. But anyway, no, that's maybe a story for another day. Guys, I stream live. Either me and Travis, Travis is normally with me on this Tuesday. Every other Tuesday, it's Airgun guys, and the other Tuesday that's not this Tuesday is I do Airgun Web TV. Now that may be here if it's just me talking with you guys, or if I do it down in the shop, then it'll be on Facebook, because YouTube, when we handled an Airgun on a live stream, they cut us off and deleted our video. So that's a whole nother story. You guys can go watch the videos from Airgun Expo and see that whole saga. But you know, we're here or on my Facebook channel. And then if you guys ever miss it, my sister edits these, at least most of them, and we republish them a little bit later on Airgun Web TV YouTube page. So the content's always going to be there. It's going to be live. It's going to be available. And don't forget, we started this out with the Airgun Arc, which is the new Airgun repository of knowledge on Gateway to Airguns. So go over to www.gatewaytoairguns.com. Check out the Airgun Arc. If you're a content contributor, or a content creator, and you want to have a place to stash your stuff, they will get people to watch it, and also have a place where it's obviously gun friendly, Airgun friendly, very much so. And you're not going to have to think, oh, are they going to delete it tomorrow, or am I going to lose my channel? No, you need to come see us over at gatewaytoairguns.org. We're not going to harvest your stuff. You're going to publish it yourself, and then it can live in the right place. It's something we're excited to bring out, and we have more things planned. This is like phase one, just to get the ball rolling. So we're excited about that. So check it out. If you haven't been to Gateway to Airguns, please go check it out and join up if you haven't already joined. Frank, you know, what I might do is, if we could get some of the folks that were here for Airgun Expo, maybe I can twist Haji's arm to come up here. We get Haji up here. We get Joe and Haji and Travis, maybe Angie. We can have a nice panel like we did for Airgun Expo and answer questions. That would be very, very cool. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Thank you so much for being up here. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me on these nights and just talking stuff. It's very, very cool. Yeah, Paul Paris is awesome. We might have talked recently on the phone, right? Anyway, I'm out of here. I'm going to keep reading these comments. Gosh, I got to go. Bye, y'all. Catch us next week. See ya.